Avatar: The Way of Water is destroying the Marvel movies. Are the audience tired of bad superhero films, or were they waiting for the continuation of the legendary saga about Na'vi and Pandora so much? Today we will think about this issue. Don't forget to like if you like the video and subscribe to the channel. Galaxy Movie. Cameron traditionally shows Hollywood who is in charge here. Avatar: The Way of Water, although it did not show record-starting results even for projects during the pandemic, is still in great demand. The film by James Cameron in 12 days was able to collect its first billion. This is the third result in the history of cinema. There are only two parts of the Avengers ahead. Infinity War did it in 11 days, while Endgame did it in just 5. However, Avatar 2 will have to share the place with two other blockbusters, because Spider-Man: No Way Home and Star Wars: The Force Awakens also collected their billion in 12 days. What is especially interesting is the excerpt of Avatar 2. The film started weaker in the world than No Way Home, but in general it was able to catch up with the pace of the Spider-Man film, equalizing the results after 12 days. Many analysts initially expected that Cameron's novelty would not set records at the start of the rental, but would be in demand for a long time in general, as was the case with the first Avatar. He was generally relatively slow to collect the box office, but eventually became the most successful film in history. At the same time, Avatar 2 clearly did not become a new word in the genre, although it obviously made a revolution in graphics. We have already told you about how the graphics have changed over these 13 years in the previous video. You can watch it on our channel. People do not rush to the cinemas in an attempt to be the first to see the new product. Many clearly come to watch it gradually. For major films, this is already a rare event. Most blockbusters lose their grip already in the second week. Fans watch them, and the rest are already slowly getting to the cinema. This is especially evident in the Marvel films of late. They make almost half of the box office on the starting weekends, and then they get it. Needless to say, the only Marvel Studios movie to gross $1 billion at the box office since the start of the pandemic is Spider-Man: No Way Home, and it was released not by Disney, but by Sony. In general, now it is especially noticeable that people are tired of superheroes. In almost 3 years, not a single film, except for Spider-Man, has collected even $1 billion. Topping the box office in 2022 are exclusively more classic blockbusters: Top Gun, Jurassic World, and now Avatar. Feel the trend? In parallel with Disney killing the Marvel Cinematic Universe on its own with insipid and repetitive films and series aimed at teen audiences in new countries, the rest of Hollywood has begun to reminisce about the past event films that do not try to launch a series of 20 other films, but simply work as independent films. Top Gun: Maverick is completely standalone and works great without knowing the first movie. The not-so-successful Jurassic World prequel is similar. Just like Avatar 2, all of them are part of existing franchises, but at the same time independent works within them. They look great in isolation from other paintings. This paradigm shift in Hollywood has hit Disney particularly hard, whose top-grossing films of recent years have been based on serialization and universe building, where each movie is just a part of a larger story. And just 3 years later, the corporation finally got its first film with $1 billion, after Paramount, Top Gun, Universal, Jurassic World, and even Sony: Spider-Man: No Way Home. It is not surprising that amid such weak results, Disney has now changed leadership. Bob Iger has returned to the president's seat. Disney was very lucky that after buying Fox, she got Avatar, because without it, the situation for the corporation would have been much sadder. Maybe Avatar: The Way of Water wasn't as revolutionary as the first part and didn't shock viewers as much, but it did something more important. It turned out to be just a great old-school blockbuster. What was Top Gun: Maverick in May? And the audience clearly wants more of this piece of cinema. And the creators of superhero movies right now need to sound the alarm. The typical consumer goods, which appeared to be the fourth phase of the Marvel Cinematic Universe, have no place in modern cinema. Viewers want more peace and original paintings, those that tell a fascinating story right now, and do not leave another hint of some grandiose future. At this rate, the franchise may simply not live to see it. In this regard, it's interesting to see what DC movies and TV shows will become with the arrival of new leadership. The most difficult decisions have already been made there, including the rejection of the near-perfect cast of Zack Snyder's works. Let's hope that the MCU will be built on the works of the Joker-level, non-trivial attempts to tell an interesting story. And, as we already know, thanks to the Joker, hundreds of millions are not needed for this at all. Disney, just one piece of advice: stop trying to tie everything into a single storyline and give more interesting ideas in individual films and series. Otherwise, the Marvel Cinematic Universe will not last long. The fourth phase looked like an interesting field for experimentation, but in the end it turned into incoherent projects shot according to a single template. No creativity. You can lose your main franchise this way. And I would like to wish Avatar: The Way of Water to reach the $2 billion mark, thereby becoming an unconditional success for Disney and, in addition, the first film to achieve such a result since the start of the pandemic. James Cameron is a master of his craft, and each of his films shows the entire industry who has always been and remains in charge here. I hope this video was helpful, so don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. Galaxy Movie.